have you seen the controversial movie Lady of Heaven? I haven't seen it, but I'm tempted to see it now that they've banned it. And I bet you're more intrigued to watch it now that you know that it's a blasphemous film that people wanted to ban. The book they tried to ban is always a bestseller, and the movie that people protest the hardest will always be more intriguing. I haven't watched it yet. I might watch it. The guy who wrote it, if he's got extreme views and he makes a film, that film is likely to propagate those extreme views. I don't think we'd be allowing films directed by Osama bin Laden to be broadcast in British cinemas. But what is Lady of Heaven about, and what is the big problem with it? Now, when we hear that it's considered blasphemous and it's reported that Muslims are protesting this film, then you could probably jump to the conclusion that this film is somehow offensive to Muslims. But it's only offensive to Sunni Muslims. As I understand it, Sheikh Habib is a hardline sectarian Shia extremist, and he's put together this film that portrays a strongly Shia narrative and taps into some of the more contentious points between the two sects of Islam. And if you are one of those people protesting the film, giving it the oxygen of publicity, I will have to ask you, do you consider Shia Muslims to be Muslim? Important question here. Do you consider Shia Muslims to be your fellow Muslims? Because if you do not, if you consider them non-believers, kuffar, mushrikeen, whatever you want to call them, if you don't consider the Shia to be Muslim, then really we're talking about a film made by people of a different religion, just portraying their religious story. And if you have your own version of that story, then that's up to you. But you've got to kind of let them have their say. Because, for example, when Passion of the Christ came out and portrayed Jesus and his crucifixion, Jesus is a prophet of Islam. And no Muslims, as far as I'm aware, were protesting the depiction of Jesus in that film. So if Shia Muslims want to produce a film and you consider them part of a different religion, then aren't they within their right to portray whichever religious characters they wish, if their religion permits it? And it would seem that the Shia doctrine is more lenient on the issue of images and portraying pictures of the Prophet or other important characters. And if you go into certain Shia shrines, you will see images of other religious characters portrayed, not necessarily the Prophet, but other characters from their religious stories. And by the way, the ruling against portraying images of the Prophet was not always agreed upon. There hasn't been throughout history consensus or ijma on the issue. And if you look at pictures from the Mughal Empire and some of the art from Central Asia, these are Muslim produced pieces that depict sometimes the Prophet, sometimes other religious characters. And sometimes the Prophet is portrayed, but his face is obscured by a bright light or something like that. So it hasn't always been a hard and fast agreed upon rule that you must never, ever portray an image of the Prophet. But if that is your belief now, and you're very much against it, then don't go and watch Lady of Heaven, because I think you might be upset. But really, I think in a country where we believe in freedom of speech, we have to allow those people that want to make a film like that want to watch a film like that, to do so. And if you cause a big fuss about it, you're actually just going to create more publicity, more attention for the film. A little bit like people banging on about the naked bike ride that is happening this weekend. I had no idea until people started warning me against it. Now I'm very aware that the naked bike ride is coming up this weekend. So if you are against the film, my advice would be the same with any provocation, and it seems that this might have been a provocation. Maybe Sheikh Habib wants to be able to say, look at those Sunni angry Muslims. They are the face of extremism. They are the face of cancel culture. We are the moderate liberals and we don't want to be cancelled. We believe in freedom of speech. Maybe he wants to come across that way. Maybe he wants to sow seeds of division. And I think it is a provocation, and the best way to deal with a provocation is to not be provoked. Don't react or respond with something better. You've got the right to make your own film. Make a documentary. Make a film that doesn't transgress what you consider to be the limits within the religion, and respond with something better. But angry mobs of people never make anybody look good. It's always easy for people that want to say negative things about a group of people if they can see them angrily waving signs and shouting. This is not the way to protest, I don't think. But let me know, have you watched Lady of Heaven? Will you watch it? Why won't you watch it? And if you don't like what I'm saying, please don't rock up at my house with a load of placards and a protest, because that'll really ruin my day.